I meal prepped these breakfast bowls this week, and they were an absolute hit. Potatoes, sausages, eggs, cheese, peppers, and onions. That's it. Let's go. So we're just going to start with the chopping. I added in jalapeno because I wanted a little bit of spice. So we're just going to get that chopped up. Typically I leave the seeds and all the membrane and everything in a jalapeno because jalapenos aren't that spicy to me. But this one, I just decided to take it on out. Then we're going to go in with a bell pepper. This bell pepper surprised me because it had, I always catch bell peppers that have a little bit of a second bell pepper growing, but this one had an entire big one growing in the middle. So I was like, I'll get that. Life just keeps on giving. So yeah, getting the bell pepper chopped up. Some of this bell pepper I use for something else because it's a lot of bell pepper. I use some of it for something else. I really can't remember. And then I'm also chopping up some green onions. I had these green onions for some fried rice, which I just posted a short about that as well. So if you want to see that, check it out on my shorts. But I had 2 bags. So I was like, I'll use some of the green onions for the breakfast bowl as well. So yeah, I'm just prepping those. I washed them and then I'm just chopping them up, cleaning them up, and getting all the parts off that you don't want to eat, getting them cut off. I like to cut the ends off each of them individually because sometimes you don't need to cut off the same amount. So yeah, this is the second bag. This bag is just going to go in the fridge because that's going to be for the fried rice again. Just posted a short on that if you want to go check that out for a really quick and simple fried rice recipe. So all this getting chopped up. This is just the prep work basically. How you guys been? I hope you guys been well. I've been doing well myself. I can't lie. God has been absolutely amazing. And I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Nothing. Here are my potatoes. Just getting those washed up. I'm really in I got food at home era. So I've been cooking a lot more. I cook a lot anyway, but I've been literally cooking 95% of my meals. Because again, I just feel like I got food at home. I can make this stuff just as well, if not better. So let's just cook it at home. But for this, I wanted to add, I typically don't meal prep breakfast. I do it every now and then, but I wanted to do it. So I was like, let's just do this. This will be a really easy way to do it. And so here I am just parboiling the potatoes with a little bit of salt and a little bit of chicken noir. Getting that mixed around. I'm just going to parboil them. That way the roasting doesn't take that long. Now we're going in with a tube of country breakfast sausage. Just going to get that sauteed down. If I was to go back, and typically I don't do it the way I did it. Typically I saute the peppers and onions and the sausage separately. This time, and then I add them in at the last minute. This time I didn't do that. I add the peppers and onions in to the sausage when it wasn't fully brown yet, and then so it took longer for the sausage to brown. Granted, it all still got browned in the end, but I wouldn't have added in at this point because peppers and onions, I guess I did use all the bell pepper. Peppers and onions contain a lot of water, and that just slows the process of, browning up the sausage. I'm adding a little bit of oil because this sausage really didn't render out a lot of fat. So I'm adding a little bit of oil to the pan. And then I am seasoning this as well because although the sausage is seasoned, I want seasoning to be throughout the entire thing. So just going in with a little bit of seasonings, nothing too special, just things that are in my pantry. Things that the normal everyday cook, normal everyday cook would have in their pantry as well. So don't get caught up about the seasoning though. Still letting that saute down. As you can see, we got some browning going on with that sausage finally. So yeah, we're just going to continue to let that cook down and do what it's going to do. This took no time to cook, by the way, guys. No time. I think overall this took about 30 minutes. Then we're going to go back to the potatoes. You can see, we're going to go back to the potatoes. These are par cooked at this point. Actually, they were pretty much all the way done at that point. I cut them really small. I didn't really realize that, but they're pretty much done at that point. But I'm just going to strain the water off, and then I put them back on the pan. I'm back on the stove with the eye on just to get out any extra moisture. That's the way to really get some really good crispy potatoes, when you roast them off. And then I'm going to go ahead and season them and everything in this pan too. Really light on the seasoning. Don't want to do a lot. Really light. Really, really light. Get those tossed around. Then I'm just going to pop them on a baking sheet. Pop them in my convection oven on 450 for about 20 minutes. Let them brown slightly. Again, they're going to be crispy, but they're not the main show. They're not the main, it's just some carbs. Just throw some carbs. Now I'm going to go in with some eggs here. You'll see that I'm breaking up the eggs as I do every 1 or 2 or 3 of them, and that's because breaking up a lot of eggs at once it takes wrist work, and I don't feel like doing all that. I think I use about 8 eggs here, and that helped me fill up 4 different like food prep containers or whatever. So yeah, I'm getting those whisked up, and then I'm going to add some half and half as well, just to carry them in to make them a little more silky. Get that whisked in, and then I season these as well. Really simple: salt, pepper, and then I also add some cheese. This cheese, I have other cheese in the fridge, but this sliced cheese was open, so like this is going in this pan. I got some butter and some olive oil, and we're just going to scramble up the eggs a little bit. We're going to go low and slow though. Low and slow. What we're going to do is we're going to scramble in the middle a little bit. Then we're just going to be pulling the edges inward and letting them cook slowly. Pulling them in, pulling the edges in, like pretty much like an omelet, and then towards the end we'll start to break them up a little bit. I really love this method when it comes to cooking eggs. Like low and slow, and just let the eggs talk. Now, I am someone, I'm not a wet egg person, so I do cook my eggs fully. So these did cook long. So because that's not my vibe. I don't like wet eggs. I don't like wet scrambled eggs. I can do like a little parboiled egg, but I don't like wet scrambled eggs. That's not my that's not my ministry. Then we're just gonna get these plated up. Put down the potatoes first. Top that with the sausage, peppers, and onions. Then top it with the eggs. Boom. Pop it in the fridge. I took one to work yesterday because it was my first day back at work the other day. And when I say, oh my God, it was so freaking good, y'all. So good. So good. I got these containers off Amazon. It's 2 different sets of containers. They both were about $20 each. Each one came with like anywhere from 5 to 7 pieces. Really good, really inexpensive. Really amazing for meal prep. And I typically don't like pack my meal prep stuff like this when I get done cooking, but this week I was just like, I want to speed things up just a little bit more. But that's it, y'all.